Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am looking at a new product to me. It's been out for a couple of weeks, but I wasn't actually all that interested in it, and it is the new Chantecaille foundation. It is the Future Skin Cushion Foundation, and this is what the box looks like, and there's an elephant at the top. This is what the cushion looks like. And you open it up, and you have a mirror, and you lift this up and you have the product. And spoiler alert, I tried this on yesterday because I was makeup free and it had arrived and I couldn't wait. I was going to shoot a different video yesterday, but it was completely cloudy, and so I wasn't, I didn't have any makeup on. I was taking my time doing my skincare and my machines and whatnot, and it was just perfect timing. And I really like this. I think I really like this. But I put it on kind of late. I didn't even put it on in here. I put it on in the kitchen, not in the kitchen, in the bathroom. So we're just going to give it a go. I have done all my hydration products and I have put on my sunscreen, and that's set up for a little bit. And as you can see, I'm starting with a shiny face. I usually do. If you are new here, I'm 58. My skin is, I describe it as mature. It's not dry necessarily, and it's not flaky, but it's not oily, and it's not producing things like oils, ceramides, hyaluronic acids, omega fatty acids, cholesterols, all the wonderful things that your skin produces naturally, and as you get older, produces that less and less and less. So I put most of it on my face, but that's my skin type. I don't really like a matte finish all that much. But I don't hate it. I don't know what kind of finish I'm going to get out of this. Now, I have some notes. Let me tell you what they say. This is $128. So you get a cushion in here, and there's another cushion in here, which I don't want to pull out, but I'll show you what's going on. Well, I'll pull it out. There you go. Boom. So that's a spare cushion. It is 0.42 ounce each one individually. So total you're getting 0.84 ounce. So it's still less combined than your typical foundation, which is usually 1 fluid ounce. Now I have to put on my glasses. Okay, this is what they are saying. This is on the Nordstrom site, but I was at the Chantecaille site yesterday. I think it said the same thing. A fresh water-based foundation with smoothing and anti-pollution skincare ingredients that blur skin imperfections. What it does, lightweight and instantly perfecting. It leaves skin with a flawless appearance. The refillable soft cushion compact makes building coverage beautifully simple. That was really hard. This is small. This is fragrance-free. It's gluten-free if that matters to you. Not tested on animals, which is the Chantecaille thing. They say to press the puff into the cushion for a natural finish, or use your fingers. I don't think I would want to stick my fingers in this, gotta tell you. You can also do a beauty blender, I think, and you could probably do a brush. There's probably a million ways to do it. Now, one of the reasons I didn't want to get this is I have had experience with cushion foundations before, and I have to tell you, I get a hand cramp from using them with the sponge, but I do think the sponge is the ideal application. They were made for this, and they apply it very nicely. So I was thinking, I don't think so. I also have the Future Skin, which is that gel formula in a jar, and I don't hardly ever use that, probably for 2 reasons. I can't even remember, but I think because, one, not a lot of coverage. And I need some. I have some redness and some sun damage, and I want to even out my skin and make it look good. I don't want to just, put a tint on it and call it a day, because you can still see all those imperfections. And the colors seemed a little bit off to me. I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I've worn it. I do remember I did a video using that, and in that video it was what I wore to Thanksgiving or Christmas or one of those things, and I said I knew I would be the only woman there wearing makeup, so I didn't want to look makeup-y, so I used that. And I've been told that the one that comes in the container that looks like a metal foil container, but I'm sure it's not, that one, because of its name, people think is lighter coverage, when in fact that is more coverage than the Future Skin. So I hadn't looked at anyone else's reviews because I wasn't that interested. But I was ordering this, which I'm going to do another video on. And I thought, well, while I'm here, what else do I want? So I decided to get this. And I'm not a girl who's afraid to return things. It's a lot of money. And I figured, look, if it doesn't work, it's out of here. No problem sending that back. Let's get into it. I got the color Vanilla, which is the same color that I have in the Future Skin gel, or whatever it is. I am going to start with this. And boop, boop, boop. When I opened this, I thought, this is really dark. And let the hand cramps begin. So I suppose you could swipe if you want to, but I don't. And I'm just going to just pat. You can do a pat and roll kind of situation. And start where the redness is more prominent, which for most women is in the center of the face. And I do like, you know, for instance, right in the crevice of the nose, you can just press your finger, your strongest finger is, I think, the middle finger, maybe your index, and just make sure you get that. I'm going to use this mirror instead of this one just to get it all over the face, and then we'll go in for the kill. But last night when I did this, it reminded me so much of the first time I tried the Givenchy, I can't remember which one, but I did a video on it and I thought, wow, this is so skin-like, you guys. It's amazing. But it had alcohol really high up, so I said, well, I'm not going to buy that. And then I found the Makeup Forever Reboot, which gave me that same skin-like finish. And if you're new here, I love that so much. That was my foundation last year that I used 90% of the time. It was just a beautiful, beautiful finish. But right now, I'm feeling like the color doesn't work for me. And color is everything. I know a lot of people on YouTube use colors that are nowhere near their skin tone. They're like, well, I self-tan, so I'm using this color. It has nothing to do with me. I can't do that. I want the color to look as close to mine as possible because I think that's how you get a natural look. If you have something with the wrong undertone or the wrong depth of color, getting a natural look and not looking makeup-y is very, very hard to do. So there you have it. I think this is beautiful. And it wasn't too much work, but you know, this area, whatever this muscle is, it kind of hurts. However, the coverage isn't ideal. There are still things I want to cover up. They don't have a lot of shades in this, and they say because it's, you know, there's something magical about it where it can self-adjust, blah, 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 blah. No, it can't. What they mean is, taking this on a dry beauty blender, is that because the coverage isn't a lot, this can kind of hit different skin tones, but I actually disagree with that. Now, look at how this builds. Oftentimes when you build with foundations, it looks like you haven't blended well. It's like, oh honey, you missed a spot. This does not. To me, I feel like this is a very nice medium coverage. You still see things. Maybe it's light medium. I mean, I don't know that I've ever had a full coverage foundation. I may have. But I think this just looks so beautiful, just like skin. I'm going to pull you in a little bit and give you a look. When I'm looking in my magnifying mirror, I have nothing I want to call out to you. I want to say, oh yeah, it's in my lines and wrinkles. It's not. And this is where I have sun damage. I have some up here. It doesn't look dehydrating on my skin. And I got some capillaries and sun damage again here. I really like this. So let's go on and use some other products. Now interestingly, when I used this yesterday, it wasn't as shiny. But that could have just been the light because it was cloudy. And I felt no need to powder at all. It does seem kind of shiny to me, but I want this to set up and see what happens before I go in with the powder. So I'm going to go in with this concealer, which is also Chantecaille. I cannot figure out what color this is. I don't know where they write it. if they don't write it here, because this is where the C is, they could write it here, but there's nothing here. And I have searched and searched and searched, which is a bummer, because I think I like this. And if I want to buy it again, I have no idea what color it is. Initially, I wore this for a little while and I thought, it's just too creamy. And creamy stuff kind of creases. But trying it again, it's not that bad. You know, your skin continuously changes. So what doesn't work for you at one period of time might work for you later on. For the blend, I'm going to do my finger. I do find creamier things more difficult to blend in because when you use your finger, it's like it picks up that cream and pulls it up, picks it up and pulls it away, and it can look kind of blotchy. I'm using a light hand, and I'd rather just do short little light taps and go up and down like this so I don't move it away from where I want that coverage. And I think this is a pretty decent color. Before anything bad happens, like creasing, I'm just going to take a little bit of my Viteri powder and set, especially this area right here where everything troughs. Okay. Already. Okay, I feel like I am well on the way to just looking fresh. I love this. I love this. Maybe I just love the color. Maybe I love the fact that it's not cakey looking, but I love this. Let's not decide quite yet what we're going to do about powder, because I do want to try some cream blush, and then we can do a powder blush and figure that out. Unlike previous videos, however, I am going to see if I can match my blushes, so I'm going to do this one. There's nothing more fun than putting one color in a powder on one side and then thinking, oh, do I have a cream that'll do this? So I'm going to take this Patrick Ta She's So LA and just do a little bit of blush slash face shaping, because this really isn't a blush color for me. Decent. By the way, you guys, we are starting earlier than usual today. This is like an hour earlier because I'm hoping I'll be able to come back at the end of the day and tell you what my thoughts are. I can tell you yesterday after I wore this, I took the dog for a hike and we went pretty fast and I got a little bit of sweaty. It still looked fine, but it looked beautiful when I first put it on. It looked a little different and I felt that I had slightly less coverage, but I was probably quite red underneath that foundation, and it stayed on all day long. I wore it for 12 hours and I didn't have any issues with it. Now I'm going to take the same blush color in the powder and hope that I don't get too much on, which I kind of tend to do. There's a little bit of drag, I think that you would want to powder this before you put on blush. So let's just kind of even it up a little bit, a little more of this, so we have the same amount of sheen. So let's try a little bit of cream blush. Same beauty blenders into the Seychelles, and it's so weird because yesterday I thought that this color was kind of fair, the foundation, and today I'm thinking it's really not. It's not that fair. Maybe it's changed colors. And this blends in very nicely, no problem. The only problem is I think I put on too much. So I'm just going to blend here for a little while. And now let's go in with a cream blush for a little bit of brightness. This is the Rare Beauty in Nearly Mauve, or Mauve. Now, I forgot which way I normally say it. Mauve, mauve, mauve. I usually say mauve. Somebody made a comment about how I said that word, and saying, I'm so glad you said it correctly, blah, 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 blah. And then I started thinking, oh, well, how did I say it? I know there are two ways of saying it. One is, I think Canadian and British say it the same, and Americans say it another way, but I've always said, now I can't remember, do I say mauve or mauve? Mauve. Mauve. Movie. I don't remember. This blush works delightfully. So this is the look. I just think it is so fresh, so pretty, so natural looking, but it is a little bit shiny. So let's take the Surratt brush, and I'm going to do the By Terry again. But if you don't start with a very shiny face when you do your foundation, you may not need powder for shine, and I don't feel that I needed powder to get it to last all day. Do you know what I mean? So it's knocked down the shine a little bit. I hope that doesn't last. It knocked it down a little bit more than I prefer. And since it's sunny out and I have pretty decent light, I wanted to go into the Denona to see what I really, really think of that highlighter, because I'm just not sure. I love the blush, so I'm keeping it, but I want to see if this highlighter is actually working for me. I think that's very pretty, and I don't think it's showing up a particular color, which is great. I don't want to see a particular color, I just want to see a nice glow. I don't know, to me, it's subtle. I like it. And there's a little bit of sheen coming back to the forehead, so that is good. All right, you guys, so it is, well, it's earlier than I usually go, but it's still kind of late. It's 10:30. So I'm going to try to come back around 3. And if the light just is horrible, then I'm going to tell you what my conclusions are right now, but you're not going to see it if the light is good and I get to come back. All right, you guys, it is 4 hours later. Almost 4 hours later. I have put on a mask and I ran errands. I went grocery shopping and went to the CVS because I needed to get another pair of readers because my readers broke and they no longer carry my readers, and I am not pleased because most readers are really bad on me. I'm kind of like, I'm having a little panic attack here. But that doesn't matter. What's going on? What's going on is this. I think this is oxidized. I shot this thinking the camera was on and it wasn't. But I just put this on about 20 minutes ago, and I put this on about 10 minutes ago when I was shooting, when the camera wasn't on. And there's a difference to me. This is a little bit more orangey. So I do believe that this oxidizes a little bit. But I also believe that my skin looks completely like it's not. It doesn't look like foundation is on my skin. To me, this is just a thin, beautiful, beautiful thing. It kind of reminds me of Rare Beauty. Now, Rare Beauty is quite different. It's a doe foot, and you can see what that texture is because you can put it on your hand or on your face, where this, you can't really get an idea of what that texture is. But I feel like the textures are probably pretty similar. The Rare Beauty has a little bit more coverage, and the Rare Beauty has really bad colors. So this color is much more natural, much more like a human being, and probably not as much coverage. The Rare Beauty also looks a little bit by makeup, but I do wear a lot of it to cover everything, where I didn't put a lot of this on, but I did add around here and around here. I think the skin looks so pretty. Do you think this looks like, I think this looks like I'm not wearing foundation. Now, it is not dehydrating. The finish is really natural. Although remember how I came to the table quite shiny. Right here I powdered it, and I have to say I didn't really like that. And it was interesting because usually when I use that powder, it knocks down the shine, and like 5 minutes later the shine's back, just not quite as much. I did not have that experience with this. It could be because I used a different brush. I usually don't do the Surratt brush. But I didn't really like the way it looked up here. But that's just me. That's me being very, very fussy. I look in here and I have these 11s. There's no foundation in the 11s. Right here, I've got these kind of deep things here, plus this little, fold of fat. It's not sunken in there, it's just there's nothing there at all. It's not grabbing to anything. It doesn't look dehydrated. It just looks like it's my skin, I think. I'm so very, very impressed with this. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is my second day, but my first day was slightly different conditions. And I do think this deserves a couple of day wear test. It's just I'm so late to the game on this, I wanted to get it up. What I'll do is I'll come back next week. I'm going to probably be wearing this every day, we'll see. And just give you an idea of how it's working for me in another video next week. It probably won't be dedicated. It'll probably be a video on something else where I will wear this and talk about it, because it's a lot of money to spend and you deserve to know. But I am really, really impressed. I would like to know, and maybe other people would like to know, if you use this, if you also have found that it oxidizes a little bit, because that's what I'm seeing, and that can be a problem for many, many people. It's not enough for me to go, but it is doing it. I do think it does. And that's it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I hope it was helpful to you. And I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe, be smart, and I'm wishing you good health.